Well, we officially started day 18. I basically was gonna start the stream just fine, but there was a moment of absolute horror when I wasn't sure where this was. The reason I wasn't sure was because I thought it was still 17. Greetings, my name is Brian. Welcome to KillCo Whiskey Musings. I'm not gonna do that as a jingle. We are on day 18 of our Advent calendar. We didn't have the answer yesterday until much later. You can check the title now, and you should see what it is. I was pleased at my little deductions. I see names. 5 fingers. High five. Mr. Great Shot, cheers. Good evening. This will be my second whiskey of the day, for reasons that only Patreon may know about. And if you can observe things and guess, then, well, you'll figure it out. Something I'm meaning to do. It's going to be a bit. Anyhow, back. Sugar Kitty Meow. Hello, welcome. Day 18. Don't know what's going to be, because that's how this works. We're closing in on the end of it, though. That's the weird part. For every single day, it's like another day goes by. It's weird. All right. Initial feelings are Scotch or Irish. Leaning towards Irish. We'll see. So far, it's just been Scotch and Scotch, bourbon, rye, and American malts or American whiskey. Easier to say that. Hello. I know who that is. Thank you, Zenbud. Had pizza and trimmed the tree tonight. Ooh, that's fancy. My tree is. I have two. There's one here. There's one here. And they are as set up as they're going to be. I almost forgot to turn the lights on that one. Yeah, but good grief. So tired. Excuse me. I'm not really tired. I got actual sleep last night. It was a surprise. Oh, you want to see what color it is? All right, music maestro. Bourbon's bourbon. Epic detected moustache. Welcome. Let me know if the music's too loud, too quiet. Oh, and there should be a question here. Poll. You should see it on the side there. Please help me pick out what I will drink next. I have 4 samples in front of me right here, next to the sample I already poured in my glass. That's what I'll drink for the rest of the evening, whatever it may be. And there's many more than 4, but those are the 4 I decided on today, much earlier. So here we go. Color. Doesn't it kind of scream Scotch or Irish? It does to me. We will begin. What was that? I don't know. I mean, now that we had one age statement on the day, I was like, it's gonna be like that every time. House of Screaming Children, enjoy your silence and peace. It's not really silent here, but I've had a few quiet moments. Living on the first floor of the building makes things a little weird when children are running around the hallways. That nose was, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know where to categorize any of this yet. Weird. Let's try again. I don't like the nose. This might be a Scotch. There's some kind of malt thing going on. It's freaking me out. I was hoping it would be Irish, but it doesn't make it Irish. Unless it's an Irish I didn't like. So, Bourbon has the light thing. Happy Hanukkah to all those out there who celebrate. I think that started recently. I'm really bad at keeping track of holidays of any sort. Of the one that's been shoved down my throat my whole life. Which is Christmas. We gotta have that, white, like, where is it? dessert wine, that kind of sweetness level, and a weird fermenting fruit thing, which I'm not a fan of. I was wondering about the screaming children everywhere. That was the first thing that came to mind. Bourbon. I'm bouncing around thoughts here, as usual. What? Prunes? Sour apple? Malt does weird stuff to me sometimes, and I have to assume this is some kind of scotch. Or a Japanese whiskey. I would not put that past them. Japanese whiskeys can be a bit odd sometimes. Not a bad way, just not what you'd really expect. I'm not looking forward to drinking this. It's not terrible smelling, but it's enough to make my nose do that. That's no good. Maybe it'll taste better. That's happened to me enough times for me to be... You know, I'll try. Hopefully it doesn't smell or taste as it smells, because that would be kind of yuck. Bottle down. Untold 14-year, very light color for space side. Ooh. Sounds good. Some raining men. I guess technically I'm, well, bottling down on every single sample I take, but I don't think that really counts. Seaweed? We got a weird one tonight. I want to say unfortunately, but this is when it gets interesting for most people. It's like, oh, this smells terrible. Really? Drink it. That's the general theme of the internet. Oh, he hates it. Make him drink it. I don't hate it. It's just odd. I don't know where to categorize this. Not for certain anyway. Just guessing. All I know is but it could be an American something, and they did it all wrong. But I hope not. All right. I'm delaying. I'm not, definitely not trying to avoid drinking this. It smells so weird. Anyway, time to have a sip. First sip doesn't count, as you know. That got very dry very fast. I have to think about it. It's not working, as always. Okay, taste isn't terrible, but again, it's being a bit weird. I am trying to find out what it means if it was that dry all of a sudden. And it would be hilarious if this was an 18-year or something. That would explain part of it, but I have no idea. However, if we're leaning in the territory of Scotch for an 18-year, the color, we'll see. And that's saying it's just a Scotch not finished anything special. Alright, another sip. I just thought of Pez. Remember Pez, that weird little thing? If you know, you know. Maybe that level of sweetness. Okay. That was a little better. Pear, and it gets dry very fast. And it has a long palate. Long palate. Long finish. I can still just stick in there. I'll wait for it to go away. I'm trying to, it's got to be a malt sweetness. I hope. And it does. I think it had a lemon citrus thing going. Briefly. I'm gonna try again. Let the palate show. I do like those much. Great job of that. As I said last time, it's like, great, those are really expensive. God damn it, Lagavulin 16. The price has shot up quite a bit over the past 2 years. For obvious reasons. But one of them was the only thing I remember hearing about and knowing about was a tax. Some stupid tax for imports. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it sucked. I think it's still affecting Scotch on top of the global pandemic thing happening. Shh, don't. Let's see. Go back in. Cleanse the palate. Still feels dry. It's weird. Great. Great weird. Ooh. Yeah, it's a little sweet, little honey. Touch of vanilla. It's making me think of a cinnamon latte. Or maybe cappuccino. No, cinnamon latte, that sounds about right. It was dry. This has to have some kind of age statement on it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Still not a huge fan of the nose, but it has, what's the word I want to use here? Dissipated somewhat. There's still this odd fruit fermentation smell. It's just spiky. It's just a little unpleasant thing. But other than that, the nose is mellowed out, more sweet, kind of a almost like a honey from a certain type of flower. I'm not big into honeys, but I know there are different bees collecting different pollen from different types of flowers changes the honey. It's pretty wild. It's one of those things you get on YouTube and just deep dive into that for the next 5 hours. Anyway, I didn't do that. Offerman one, but it was younger, so I thought it would be more peaty. It would be, generally speaking. The less time with peated Scotch in the barrel, the more aggressive it is. The longer, more time, more years, mellows it out significantly. Lagavulin is one of those that they picked 16 for a reason. I have the 9, because I have a Game of Thrones bottle, which is just it's pretty much a decoration at this point. They're way back there, behind everything. But I have officially all of those bottles, and I will hopefully be doing a sample giveaway. We'll see. I plan on doing one so you can try 4 of the Game of Thrones scotches. That'll be the sample giveaway. I haven't hyped it up yet, because I don't know when the flick I'm going to do it. But I have ideas. And it wouldn't go out until next year anyway, because, you know how shipping is right now. Mr. Great Shot, you will always have a favorite. I went the other way around, as I assume some of you know. I got in via Scotch, and then I just went into bourbons, because I quickly realized Scotch was very expensive. And yes, it used to be Johnny Walker Black. I polished off many a Johnny Walker Black early on. I tried them all, I think. Almost. My brother even got me a Johnny Walker Blue little sample-sized bottle for $20. You can get those at some grocery stores. Grocery stores? Liquor stores. Or grocery stores. There are places that do that in other states. You have no idea how weird it is for me to go traveling somewhere and go into a grocery store and see liquor just there. Or pharmacies. There's beer. It's like, wow, people live this way. Kilchoman Maklebe. I don't know if I said that right. I have one of those. One of those is a sample, isn't it? Hold on. That's Kalila. Old Carter. I do have a Kilchoman, but it's the 100% peat one. I think I saw that earlier. Hold on. Hold on. I do have a Kilchoman. I know it's Kilchoman. I like to say KillCo. I have to emphasize that part for some reason. Ew. I know I saw this. I wouldn't make this a thing, except I saw it today. It's gonna bug me to look at it. So that's how I am. Oop. I'm looking for KillCo. Oh, yeah, here we go. Mocknear Bay, cast strength. I got 2 of these, weirdly enough. 2 samples. Whoa. You probably did. I also have a very special one that I was sorting through samples, being like, I need to get rid of some of these, drink some of these. I have some here from a year ago or more. I feel really bad. But I have a couple in front of me. One is this one. This is why it triggered my brain here. KillCo Mocknear Bay cast strength, Christmas 2020 release. 58.6%. Christmas. I'm going to drink it. Seems appropriate. And then I have a Starlight Distillery Hubris SIB pick. Bourbon World Holiday 2020 4-year, 57.3%. That one should be drank soon as well. Festive. All right, we're 15 minutes in, so I'm supposed to tell you what this is. It's very weird. I just thought of celery. No, lettuce. I don't like celery, by the way. But maybe I got some of that as well. It was a green weirdness. Alright, I need to find out what this is. Don't recommend. Zenboot says, I don't recommend the KillCo. Thank you, Norton. You're annoying. KillCo Lock Grom. Cigarette ash. Cigarette ash. Yay. That's not something you want to go for. But, I don't know. Cigarettes are gross. Sorry. But, I don't know if maybe it's just me and my nose, but smoke freaks me out. What am I doing? Looking up what this is. There we go. Alright, here we go. Day 18. Thankfully it's here. Yesterday we didn't have that. I still have that here, by the way. If you ever wonder what I do, if I don't know what it is, save it until I find out what it is. But now that I know what it is, I can drink that later in the evening. Yay. Here we go. Pop. It looks like a Scotch bottle. Crunk. I have to download these images, as usual. That's 46%. I didn't say what the percentage was, did I? That's fine. I was gonna guess that. Stay hitting pictures so I can see them better, because... No, son of a bitch. Because, Discord doesn't like to show me the images as I find helpful. Because my eyes. Sorry, I'm trying to read this sideways. Canada? It's Canadian whiskey. That would be hilarious. Oh, and there's something on the back I get to read. Yay. Oops. Save pictures. Edition number 1. I know I haven't actually said the name because I'm not quite sure what it is. But that's okay. I can look at you. And open the pitches. Pitches, I tell you, the pitches. I would show these, but it's a really pain to do that. Unofficial ingredients in every bottle. What the hell is that? Alright. I think it's called Shelter Point? I didn't save the actual bottle. That would be a sensible thing to do. Shelter Point. Shelter Point Distilling. This is Canadian. It's got the leaf on it. The Collective. Product of Canada. Ah. Weird. I'm glad it's not Scotch. Sunset and sea air, unofficial ingredients in every bottle. I don't like that. What are the ingredients? Does it tell me? Do I have to check the other pictures? Hold, please. Yep. Non-chill filtered, no added color. Oh, good to know. Product of Canada. Handcrafted by Shelter Point Distillery. Regent Road, Canada. I want to make sure I read everything I need to read here. I don't know if I did. Click, click, click. I'm reading the back. You don't have to make whiskey in paradise, but it helps. At Shelter Point, we're in it together. Every one of our 5 local staff contributes to the character and success of our distillery. So we asked each one to choose a favorite whiskey cask to include in the special release that celebrates our people. The result is a delicious blend of 5 specially selected casks that reflect the collective spirit and passion of our Shelter Point family. It releases 46% ABV and contains casks that are at least 5 years old. From where? With what? I don't. My brain is freaking out. I mean, it's nice that they're doing something interesting like that, but also, okay, I read that one. What's the other one say? Oh, that is not English. That's why. It's in French. I'll try to read it. Fabresque à la main par, which apparently means handcrafted by Shelter Point Distilling. Maybe? Maybe not. I don't know what that says. I don't know what it said. No. Handcrafted by. That is really handcrafted by? Okay. Edition 1. What? I'm befuddled. So it's Canadian whiskey. Except they don't tell you what they did to it. That's fine. It's fine. It's a neat idea where they say our employees picked barrels and we mixed them. I would love it if they explained, like, just went a little further on that. Like, which ones did they pick? From where? Why did you blend it together? What are the rules here? Oh, this is a weird one. No wonder. Whew. Well, it's not Scotch. That would explain the ridiculous sweetness on the first, what'd I say? Dessert wine? Like that? Ooh. Hold on. Let Stay away from Talisker, Lefroy, Old Putney, and a couple of others. I think at the finish of the air bottle. Oh, please do. I think I have, hold on. I'm not even going to try. I do have a errant barrel. I'll have to get back to you. I know I don't have anything about the Phoenix. I was curious. But I'm holding off on buying bottles right now, so of course they'd release something crazy like that. And right now the shipping on everything is so ridiculous. I've ordered a few bottles recently, and it's like $20 just to ship any bottle, and that sucks. When the bottle is $60, like what the fuck am I doing? Or more. Big on the feels, thin on the details. Yes, Zenboon. It's. I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. Could you elaborate on all that, please? Which ones did they pick? From where? I'm mostly on the from where, because it doesn't... I think there are rules in Canada. I assume there are. About, Scotch. Because there weren't in Japan. And they did get import Scotch and then mix it with something else. And they're like, it's Japanese whiskey now. From what I remember. My memory sucks. Clear. It's so weird. And I've had very limited experience with Canadian whiskey. Other than knowing that Crown Royal exists. And I have my only real experience where it was like, wow, so this is Canada. Alberta Premium. 66%. Hello, Canada. Delicious. I believe that's a rye. Canadian ryes are pretty intense. Like, I'll have some right now. No. Speaking of, for what I have next after this, please make sure you've entered the poll to help me make a decision, because I'm not great at that. Mr. Great Shot, you just have to try every single peated Scotch out there, and then you'll know. It's simple. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not. Having access to the whiskey vault, however, does increase those odds of me being able to try many different peated things. It smells weird. With that said, at 7:30, I will switch to something else if I don't finish this, and I might not finish it during the stream. But I will drink all of it. It doesn't taste terrible, it's just extremely bizarre. Canadian whiskey is a hard curveball. It's like, I didn't even see that. I didn't even think. I've been thinking about Japan and Taiwan and all these faraway places. Like, what about Canada? It's like, oh yeah, they do stuff too. How did I forget? I've been exposed to very little of it. Mr. Great Shot, technically that's why the Whiskey Vault exists, for those of us, being me, who have finished the Whiskey Somm level 1. You can go in there and try. I love that thought. I don't want to brag. But I can. A little bit. And of course, all of you can come with me. Just get all the way to Texas. Pay for my flight. And where I stay. And the rental car. You can see how that doesn't work out, so. But I will be going there in March? Ow. Let me check. So, Mr. Great Shot, I know you live in the area, so we'll get you into the vault. If you're up for it. That's the thing. It's a little trek to get into the vault. And Texas is very warm. I think it's the end of March. Yep. The 28th through the 29th. I'll be there on the 27th, staying the 27th, 28th, 29th. 29th is graduation. And then I'll very likely just be staying there for the rest of the week, which is going to be very expensive because it's $200 a night to stay on campus after whiskey somming. But for at least 3 nights, it'll be good. I'll be arriving on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday are classes. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Maybe leave Sunday. But that would lead into April. April 2nd. That'll be a Sunday. We'll see. This hasn't been set in stone yet, other than I am going to Texas for Somm 2 at the end of March. Yay, don't tell anyone. John McCowan, no. I do not have to pay a cent to get into the vault. I can go there as I choose, when I choose, as I please. Unless there's already someone in there. I mean, even then, I could just putz around, but I'd feel bad. Because it's not as big as you'd think. It's big enough, but it's not as big as you think. What I can do, and this has been told to us by, Daniel, and just the whole campus, is I am able to do tastings for people. But I have to pay a certain amount, which means I have to ask the people who want to go into the vault and do sampling to pay a certain amount. I forget what it is. I know it's not a huge amount, but it's, a chunk. So the idea is I can do those for people. But again, a lot of it is, well, I live in Rhode Island, and that is an Austin area, Texas. So even the concept, I would have to be there. I can say for that week, specifically, I can be like, hey, let me know if you want to go to the vault. I can see what's up, in theory. Or I can just try to get people in who I know for free. We'll see. Again, then it can't be an official tasting. There are rules. There are a lot of rules, and I haven't figured it out yet because it just hurts my head to think about. But there are things I would have to do. Yeah, tasting would be great. Again, it's an entire vault full of whiskey. You can see it on their channel. It is ginormous. So many bottles. And what's really funny and almost disturbing now for me, is when I look at them recording in the vault, part of me is thinking about where the certain types of whiskey are that are behind them. I'm like, all right, now that one was the peated scotches, and that one was the regular space size, and that one over there. It's wild. The bourbons are actually off camera. I know exactly where those are, and I know exactly where the fancy stuff is. It's very important to know where those are. It still smells weird. 7:30, I can stop drinking this. It's gotten less and less as I've been drinking it, just leave it open. Just kind of going down. Still very sweet. Don't get me wrong. Honeyed sweetness with a little bit of vanilla. Almost to the point where it's unpleasant. I've said it. I'll say it many times. Let's just be real. I have had certain dessert wines that I cannot drink. I have a level. I didn't know I did, but until I tried certain dessert wines, and there's a level of sweetness where it's just like, nope, we're good. I'll have something else, please. But I have whiskey. I do kind of miss having wine. I'm realizing that as the holidays are going around, because wine gets more of a social thing as wine rather than whiskey. But my brother does a lot with wine, so I kind of miss going and having different varieties of wine, being all fancy about it. Still don't really like red wines. I do like blush, and I do like certain white wines. Like a sweet dry, usually. I don't know what kind that would be, but it's usually what I lean into. Tonight on Does Brian Like Wine? I've got to check to see what's happened. You have about 60 seconds. I want you to make sure you voted. Polled. If you polled, this is your last chance. I am in polling. Poll ending. Look at that. That is an interesting choice. That is a dangerous choice. How? Fine. I have questions. Poll has ended. Which sample should I drink this evening? We have Old Carter Batch 6, 13 year, at 67.3% alcohol, at 37%. It is a Sunday. I have things to do tomorrow. Not really. 15-year-old Cole Isla unpeated at 59.1%. That's the percentage of the alcohol. That got, I didn't say the first one. The first one that won, the Old Carter, 37% of the vote. Cool. So I approve. The second place goes to the 15-year-old Cole Isla unpeated. That is at 59.1% alcohol. They got 25%. Tin Cup 10-year, 42% alcohol. Got 25 as well. So those were tied. There was no tiebreaker there. And then the Kilchoman 100% Isla only got, and that's 50% alcohol. Too many percentages. Got 12% of the vote. So it will be the Old Carter Batch 6, 13 year. Which is a crazy high proof. What is wrong with you people? Thank you. Thankfully, it's not a lot. It is a 2 ounce. It's less than 2 ounces. 1 ounce. 1.5? Anyhow, this is how much it is. And yes, 134.6 proof. Hopefully, I'll really like this, but I get the distinct feeling that the high proof is going to put me off a little bit. I'm sure I'll still like it, but yeah. What are you doing? Coincidentally, and honestly coincidentally, it's Bourbon Night. We'll be doing a similar thing this evening, I think. You get to pick what they're going to drink. I think I saw that earlier. I wasn't really paying attention. Yeah. Woo! Yeah, we're in Bourbon Town right now. How you doing? Excuse me, I don't know where that came from. Get all of it. This was very likely Very expensive. Yeah. All right. Let's look at the color, shall we? Look at that. Quite the change. Damn legs. Oh, God. They're moving slow. I feel like when I drop this, I'm not going to do that anymore. It's like, whatcha? Look at it! Excuse me. Have a nose. Little nose. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I can smell the proof. But holy gods. That is just like brown sugar gloriousness. A little vanilla. You can tell there's a corn sweetness in here. I think I accidentally looked up something about this earlier today. I know this is a good amount of corn. At least 51%, you know? Which is, ooh. Well, maybe not. Actually, I forgot. It said American whiskey, didn't it? Yes, it did. American whiskey didn't say bourbon. There's the difference. Ooh. Like brownies. Leather chair. Can I say a sweet tobacco? There's such a thing as a sweet tobacco, right? Oh man, this is glorious. Oi, gang! Hanging easy. How you doing? How you hanging? Man. Thank you, old Quarter, for making this more my thing right now. It's holy gods. Oh yeah, Mr. Rich, I'm not planning on drinking this right away. I have to brace myself. The proof alone. Whew. But it's intense. Oh, it's glorious. Like cinnamon buns. Thought about strawberries. Oh, you know what? Whoa, alright. Without maple syrup, but I'm thinking of there is a restaurant that occasionally does, it's like a cinnamon bun French toast deal. So it's just like a giant cinnamon bun, except they did French toast style. With like whipped cream and strawberries on top. Oh, God. Making me think of that. Oh, I like that. Pipe tobacco. Okay. So I don't know what the difference. Pine tar. Ugh. Blood shallot. Octomore Frog. I don't have a problem with Octomore. I have an Octomore sample around here somewhere. But it has never been like the peatiest of the peat. But I don't know if I've actually tried the peatiest peat version they have. Fighting around the world. Ardbeg. It's a great chat feel. It's graham crackers. I'm getting a lot more notes lately. I think, doing this every day, it's almost like it's practice. The nose in this old Carter is amazing. I love it. Thank you for picking this one. I don't know what the other ones would have been like, but this one was glorious. I'm fairly certain this is one that had a lot of talk. Like it was one where people were like, "Oh my God, this is delish." Yeah, I'm still looking for the record. There's something in my mind right now. I'll talk about it tomorrow. But I'm still on the hunt for a Booker's Kathleen's batch. Now, mind you, I'm fairly certain this was a 2018 release or 2019 release. I think it's 2018. So the likelihood of me ever seeing that bottle ever are almost nil. Or getting even a sample of it. But I feel like I should have a Booker's of some sort tomorrow. But I don't know where I would go to do that. And I have very limited time. Because I have stuff to do for once, believe it or not. I have things to do. When did that start happening? Every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. I have things to do. Oh, and I have an appointment in Providence, don't I? Ooh. But what time? So I can do a thing. Just realize. If I figure out what time it is. Hold on. I'm looking at my schedule. Tomorrow, I have an appointment at... Is it tomorrow? No, it isn't tomorrow. Fudge. I'll have to do it the day I do go, which is Tuesday. Yeah. We'll see. I have thoughts about what to do for a certain thing. I can have a Booker's. If I can find a place that has Booker's nearby, that'd be great. As a pour, not as a bottle. Bottles are very expensive. Although, I will say I got to try the Lumberyard at the actual distillery, Jim Beam Distillery. That was pretty freaking good. So I might want that. But, again, Booker's are stupid expensive. Always. I'm also looking for something very specific, and I'm almost getting it now that I'm thinking about it. It's whiskey, right? I was talking about whiskey. Whiskey I don't have. There's an underlying Laffy Taffy banana. Old Carter, the one I've had, which is not the best. Still right here. This is Old Forester. I don't know what I'm talking about. I had Old Carter before. Old Forester, anyway, gives me a really heavy banana note. Now I'm trying to find it in this. Because I'm suspicious. And unfortunately, there's this weird Laffy Taffy banana note. Right, it's like underneath. Like the Laffy Taffy is holding everything else up slightly. But the nose is definitely changing. Like, I didn't notice that at first. So I started thinking about bananas. Ugh. Stomach? I hope the microphone doesn't pick that up, because my stomach is being grumbly. With good reason. Would you like to know what I had for lunch today? It was an everything bagel with butter. Yeah, that was lunch. I had a little thing of yogurt. I don't remember. Irish grog. Barbecue meaty. Oh god, don't tell me about barbecue. Let's talk about food. Well, I know I'm hungry. 1792 in it? I have had that happen. Like the 1792 Foolproof store pick, unfortunately, was the first bottle donated to my channel. Long gone. But I didn't get banana on it. However, that was also one of the first bottles I was donating to the channel, so my palate might have changed a bit since then. And the one I do have, the bottle and bond, I get banana on that, absolutely. No longer allowed salt bagels. Why even live? I'm kidding. I don't see salt bagels around. That is when I like the idea of the concept, but I always just go for everything bagel. And everything bagels have a bigger meaning to me because I watched a movie recently. It's a noise. It was the Everything Everywhere All at Once movie. Freaking everything bagels are amazing. To me, even more so now. I found some good ones. I'm thinking about food way too much right now. But recently I found these frozen bagels. So they're actually frozen. You have to de-thaw them first, but you have to then slice them open. Much better than just the bagels I have. Someone's playing with an electronic toy in the hallway. Or wheelchair. That sounds more like an electronic toy. Like a car, RV car. Alright, I need to drink this. I'm not ready. I think part of me is scared about this proof. Because I'm already a little loopy tonight. As usual. And I have 2 other whiskeys in front of me, by the way. So it's this and 2 other whiskeys. This is your fault. Or it could be a scooter. People let kids play in the hallways. It's very... especially on the weekends. Yeah, RC car or some kind of motorized moving thing. I've seen a few weird ones. The newest thing I've seen is the one where you just stand on it and lean forward and you just go. You just heard it? Yep. It's loud. Even my microphone is set up for a recent recording I did. I went, didn't pick up very well at all. Didn't pick up at all. I haven't put words in. You'll see. Ugh. That's what I get for setting up a microphone to be all fancy and make me sound sexy as hell. If that is how it sounds, I'm not really sure. I can't hear what you're hearing. All right. Cheers, everyone. Hello. Wow. Doesn't drink like the proof. That was a lot of flavor. Oh, that was good. Something just happened there. Trying very hard not to think about it. It's intense. Woo! That's my grandmother used to say. Good. But I haven't been able to process why, because I'm just like... Damn it, why does that have to taste so good? What a lovely initial sip. I still haven't processed what it was. Because I didn't want to, but... I think there was a light berry note in there. Kind of popped out like a blueberry or raspberry. Ugh. Black raspberry. That makes sense. I might be hungry, by the way. I won't be able to finish this during the stream. No, I will not. Not even gonna try, because I'm realizing I'm talking about how hungry I am, and that's, wait a minute, that's really high proof. Plus the other one I was drinking. Plus I have one more to drink today. I need to slow down. I need to eat food. What am I gonna eat? I got a can of beans. Beans. A delicacy. Alright, let's gonna hold this on the palate for a sec. See what happens. I'm scared. Very oak forward. Chocolate. Spice. Cinnamon. Brown sugar. Usual suspects. Ooh, there's that berry note right in the middle. Just gets sweet, fruity. It mellows out. You get a little bit of leather. Mouth goes dry a little bit, just slightly. Oh my gosh. That is delish. Yay. What a nice counter to the one I was dealing with. Again, I didn't hate the one I was dealing with. It's just overly sweet. And this rich, dark bourbon, or American whiskey, just knocked it out of the park. It's like, hello, look at my proof. Wow. It jostles my brain with the way it tastes. Like, oh my god. It's getting me full, isn't it? I like that. Tomorrow's 19. God, we're almost done. What is it? A week from today will be the Christmas day now? Yeah, well. Yeah, it will. And I'll tell you, since you're here, there will be videos soon. I just have to edit it completely. And I was able to actually keep my whole recording to under 15 minutes, which is a thing I'm not good at. So that's part of the reason I've been practicing with these samples, is to get 15 minutes of me nosing and tasting. That's it. And then I get to chop that down to 5 minutes-ish. I know I'm supposed to go for 10 minutes with the longer format videos on YouTube, but why? I'm not monetized yet, so it doesn't matter how long they are. With that said, I'm not going to do that tonight because, again, I have numerous whiskeys in front of me and I need to eat food soon. Shush. All right, that's the 10 of. Probably didn't hear that was my watch. I'm gonna have to deep dive into this old Carter batch after this. That is astounding. I'm tempted to put water in it, but I don't want to ruin it. I don't really want to change it, but I know for certain this is not something I can drink at what I consider a sipping pace. There's a certain pace when you're drinking whiskey. For me, it should be either, in this case, I drink 2 whiskeys, in 30 minutes. 30 minutes I have 1 whiskey, another 30 minutes I have another whiskey. That's the general idea. That doesn't always happen, especially with these samples. I don't finish them on purpose during the stream. But tonight I'm going to drink all of them in the next 10 minutes. No, I'm not. I drink some more water, though. Ugh. Sorry. I did not expect to have such an amazing whiskey show up in front of my face tonight. Because again, you guys got to pick, and thank you for this one. Squeaky chair, squeaky. There's a little orange, not zest, like the fruit, the squishy part. Squir's thought. Why? I know this was an expensive bottle. It had to be. Fudge. Why'd I say that? Darn it, heck, shoot. See, here's the scary thing. I like the idea of whiskey being, you can find good whiskey at a good price. Not the good whiskey has to be expensive, because that is obviously not true. In this case, though, 13-year American whiskey from Old Carter, specific batch. Oh my gosh. I do have to drink them all sometimes. That's part of the fun. I keep forgetting I have the option to poll. I forget a lot of things. But with all these samples I have available, I need, assistance. And since we're kind of sticking to Sample Sunday until I run out of samples, which will not happen anytime soon, that does help. But that one I would have to post early. And I'd give maybe 15 minutes for the first start of the stream for everyone else to check in who shows up. Because otherwise it would take too long. It takes like 30 minutes until I actually pour anything? I don't know if I'm that entertaining. We'll see. I haven't thought about it yet. It's a thought, though. Doing Sample Sunday is where you get to pick. Maybe I'll make it a community post. Community poll. I forget I can do that, too. Wow. But it's... Anyway. Maybe I'll do that. Big maybe. Lots of maybe. So much maybe. Delish. You think of pancakes? Oh, I like pancakes. It doesn't drink like the proof at all. It's definitely a higher proof. But I would not think 60, whatever the hell it was. 60, what, 67? Hold on, math. I'm doing this. Hold on. I've started to do this and I feel like a tech wizard. Like I'm living in the future. Hey Google, what's 134 divided by 2?
134 divided by 2 is 67.
Like I was saying, 67%. Oh, almost 70. That's ridiculous. I would think 57, not 67. I can't believe it. That's my technological thing now. I know a lot of people have like Alexa and that kind of crap. That's it for me. The Hey Google thing. Helps when driving. I can send texts whenever I want. I haven't actually text people. Do this. Hell, the fact that I'm doing this means we're living in the future, because you're looking at me in real time. Watching a live stream. Going straight to your brain. Oh my gosh. I can't get over this freaking thing. I'm hoping that at the rest of these, like 19 through 25, there is a whiskey in there somewhere that will do this to me. Or I just obsess over it for a little bit. Can't believe how good it smells and tastes. Or you know what? I'll make it. I'll relive the experience as best I can with a cranker. Crunchy and not good. I will not be able to use it again. I should, but I won't. As I said on one of these streams, think of oyster cracker in square form. Works real good. Like oyster crackers and such, they dry it and just obliterate what you were eating before or drinking. But not exactly tasty. And I know better crackers like that are tasty, but I can't find them. I think not working. Enjoy the living on the first floor. That's new though. Normally I don't hear some loud thing going up and down the hallways. I'm curious to see what it is. But I can already tell, I can feel that someone who lives here is going to be so annoyed that they're going to call management. Then later this week, or next year, or the week after, we will get a notice, a giant piece of paper saying, "Don't let your kids play in the hallway." So far, that hasn't changed anything. Aimed it a little bit. A little less sweet now. It's staying open, like I have the glass just sitting here. So it could, in theory, get to the point where it's sippable. Again, I don't have a specific ratio, but I think one sip every 5 minutes at least, or a 2-ounce pour, and that'll easily last you an hour. Easily. Usually it's longer than that. But for me, if I'm just sipping on a whiskey to drink, that's a guesstimate of how often I should be picking up the glass and taking a sip to make it coast for an hour. Oh God, we already got 58. Come to the end of the stream. Excuse me. I definitely need food. I'm going to finish this. Again, I had 3 whiskeys to drink tonight. And actually, there's 4. Like, I had one before the stream because of something I was doing. If you're a patron, you know what. By the way, I have Patreon down there. Follow me on all the social medias. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Oh, God. You know, Twitter's imploding. TikTok. I did one on there today because there's a trend about anime faces for the moment. It's weird. Don't ask me. I don't know. But I did one. I did a few. They were silly because they can't capture this very well. Anime, not a lot of big mustaches like this, so I might try it a few more times just for the lulz. Anything else? I don't remember. I think I got all the social medias there. And here, of course. Be sure to do the thing, because I always forget to say, because I hate saying it, but that's why this exists, so I can click on it until you know exactly what I'm asking. Alright. Coming up on the end. I'll be here tomorrow. 7 o'clock. Tuesday, very likely 8 o'clock. And then the rest of the week after that should be 7 to depending. Something's going to change on the 23rd. Hopefully. With that said, as always, live long and prosper. Don't forget to be awesome. And I will see you out there. Thank you for joining me on KillCo Whiskey Musings. You can find my social media and Patreon in the links below. Be sure to like,